Praise Yahweh, all you nations, extol him, all you peoples, for his loving kindness is great towards us. Praise Yahweh, all you nations, extol him, all you peoples, for his loving.
This is the parable of Judith, a beautiful godly widow who lived in Israel at a time when a great evil king was waging war. The king, let's call him Nebuchadnezzar, king of the Assyrians, decided to wage war on the Persians, and he looked to other nations to back him up. The Assyrian army marched westward to Israel to pay back the nations that had not backed them against the Persians. War was imminent. The Assyrian army came to Bethulia, a place which means virgin, and there they besieged the city. Bethulia had strong walls to protect against the enemy, but the enemy had overwhelming numbers. The Assyrians were now surrounding the city. The Israelites were terrified. Judith went to the temple and prayed to God and pleaded with him for mercy and to give Israel courage and strength against the evil invaders. Judith and her handmaid made their way to Bethulia to address the inhabitants and give them courage and strength. Meanwhile, Judith was coming up with a plan. The two ladies headed over to the Assyrian camp and asked to speak to General Holofernes. Holofernes and his men were delighted to see such a beautiful woman, and he was very hopeful of seducing her. She did, after all, look very beautiful, and it would be a great honour for him to have his way with her. Holofernes then invited her into his tent to get her drunk and knocked up. She went in while all the Assyrian men looked on with great excitement and anticipation. Judith pretended to drink, but Holofernes in his excitement drank a lot more than her until he was completely drunk off his head. He lay down drunk at her feet, and then she grabbed a sword. Down came the sword and chopped off Holofernes' head. She and the handmaid escaped into the night with the head in a bag. Then they approached Bethulia with their prize trophy. The Israelites were stunned as she took out the severed head of Holofernes, the proud general who had struck terror into them. And Judith gave them this instruction: mount his head on the wall of Bethulia so that the enemy army can see what God has done. When the Assyrians marched up to the walls of Bethulia and saw the head of their general, they fled in terror. The men of Israel set after them and slaughtered them. Judith set her handmaid free. She spent the rest of her life as a well-loved and well-respected woman of Israel. This story is a parable of how God uses the weak and foolish things of this world to shame the powerful and the wise.
Praise Yahweh, all you nations, extol him, all you peoples, for his loving kindness is great towards us. Praise Yahweh, all you nations, extol